everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Rubikon. This was suggested to me by one of my subscribers, so I'm excited. After I watched Sunshine, which is like a 2007 movie, really good for the most part. There's a piece, whatever. It's not what we're here to talk about, but he said you should check out Rubikon. I'm like, all right. And now that I read this, I'm excited. Like I wasn't sure at first because I didn't recognize anybody in it, and it's only 4.9 on IMDb, 3,179 people rated so far. It's on AMC Plus. Like I said, it doesn't star anybody I know in it, I don't think. And I was also afraid it was going to be in a different language. But it seems like there's a catastrophe here on Earth. And there's astronauts in the space station. And they have to make the decision of, do they go back down to Earth and like look for subscribers? Man, I didn't have a drink at all. Look for survivors, or do they stay up in the space station and stay alive? You know, do they want to risk it and go down there and stuff like that? So that sounds terribly interesting. So I'm excited. Let's see. I think it's a little bit longer than I like to do on a weeknight, but hour and 50 minutes. So that's all right. Let's do it. I'll let you know what I think. Stick around. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Rubikon, and I don't know why all the hate for this movie. I really enjoyed it. 4.9, right? 4.9 on IMDb. Not even close. I mean, I'd have to read the reviews why people rated it that low. For me, sorry no check-ins, but let me just break it down for you, right? So, Nibiria? Whatever. Anyway, the planet essentially, the Earth has something happened to the atmosphere. Where people kind of live in domes or something like that. It kind of says it right in the beginning, but you know, whatever. But they have this space station, and our Hannah and Gavin, opening scene, are heading to the space station, right? And where there's a bunch of people on this space station. Well, one thing leads to another, and there's now 3 of them on a space station. Whatever. This space station has, it says the actual technical term, but it's regenerating oxygen so that, you know, it's not going to run out. Like a lot of the times, like in, I mentioned Sunshine, that they're going to run out of oxygen at some point. But this guy has built some algae, symbiotic, whatever. But basically, they do have to ride a bike every so often to create CO2, but they're going to keep the oxygen flowing, right? Which is great. So they can live up there forever if they want. Now, what happens is something happens down on Earth where a cloud kind of covers it. And everybody on Earth has to go underground. But we don't know that, to be honest with you. I mean, that happens throughout the movie. But what happens is, so they finally reach out to Rubikon and say, hey, we're down here, but we are in our bunker and we're running out of oxygen, you know, and we need help. So now Rubikon has this infinite amount of oxygen and a way to do it. So they are now trying to determine, the whole movie's about, do they return to Earth and risk it? Because if they go through the clouds, they could die. Anything can happen, you know, going down there. So, and it's funny, I just saw this on TikTok, but at different numbers, but do you risk the 3 for the many? The few for the many, right? Is the moral dilemma, I guess, that it's all about. And it's like, okay, and, you know, so there's arguments to every side of this. And, you know, there's a lot of other details that go on. And it feels a little drawn out for me. Not 4.9 drawn out, but it felt like that. Like I just wanted to get to it, you know. Let's see, you know what I mean? You know, because there's not much else happening between once you figure out all of that and then when they decide what they're ultimately gonna do, and then, you know, whatever. So that's the only negative I see. The other thing was, the reason I have a different shirt, because last night I couldn't get my subtitles to work correctly. It gave me subtitles and it didn't work correctly tonight, but I forged through. Like when I speak in what I assume is Russian, I didn't get the subtitle. But when I speak in English, I see all the subtitles. So anyway, so whatever they said, I missed it in Russian. But so that's how the movie's set up. Okay, what do you decide to do? Save the few to save the many, or risk the few to save the many. That whole dilemma goes on, and I don't even know where I was going with all that. But okay, that's where we are. Let's see what happens. And I really enjoyed what they did. It's what ending they chose, and I guess pieces of it. I shouldn't say I guess pieces of the ending. I guess pieces of things that I figured were gonna happen. But I was surprised and appreciated what they decided to do for everything. So that totally made the movie for me. Totally. So absolutely check this out. I don't know why they hate it. There's one actor I do know. He was one of the main actors in it. I might have mentioned him yesterday when we were talking about him. He's a good actor. It's Mark Ivanir. I've seen him in other things. The other two I didn't recognize, so I didn't know how this was going to be. Yeah, he's in John Wick. Wow, Amsterdam, Planet of the Apes. He's in a lot. Right? Aquaman. So you've seen this guy before, because I obviously have, but the other two I haven't known. But acting was good. I don't know why there's so much dislike on this, but I enjoyed it. And I will say a little bit of spoilers because I want to have fun. So check this out. It's worth a watch. It was off my radar. I want to thank my subscriber who recommended it. I really did. At first as I was going through it, I was like, I don't know. It's okay. But then when it gets towards the end, I was like, "Yay, good." that was my emotions. So, real quick, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Right. So if you haven't seen the movie, don't watch this. Right, because I want you to enjoy it for the first time. Now, if you have seen it, you can stick around. But if you haven't, go and watch it, and then come back and watch this point, because I want to talk about Gavin's decision at the end, right? So Gavin's decision, I'm thinking to myself, he's going, right? He's just going to fix it himself and he's going to go. That's what I thought my prediction was. And then when he did what he did, I was like, dang, wow, that's the whole moral dilemma. And he just, boom, made a choice for him and for them, right? Wow, fabulous ending. And then as soon as you see the next interaction between Hannah and Doctor whatever, when you see that and you see as soon as she says something and he's like, what? And it's like, oh no, wow, you pick up right away what he was. But I didn't think of that the whole time. The whole 3 people thing. I was like, okay, I bought in. So the double whammy right there really was like, okay, awesome. And then, then we see what's going down, and then push it a little bit further down the line. You guys in that box, that whole piece. It's like Rubicon 2, baby. So anyway, I really enjoyed it. Worth watching. Hopefully you check it out. And we'll find out why other people maybe don't like it as much as me. But worth watching. Thank you for recommending it. Kimmel's Irish Pub.